you playing in tune?
The Suzuki Method, a form of musical talent training, places emphasis on performing in groups, heavy parental involvement, and vast amounts of listening. All this together creates a way of learning similar to a way a young child first learns to talk. Most children start learning with the Suzuki Method when they are 3 or 4. The children learn quickly, and they form close bonds with their teachers, friends, as well as a love for music at an early age. However, the cost of these lessons come with a price. Some parents, such as Shirley Kirsten, a mother of a Suzuki pianist, pays upwards of $1,000 a year solely on private lessons. This price makes lessons inaccessible for low-income families who want to teach their children music. In addition to this, many parents and teachers state that the Suzuki students rely too much on listening and never learn to read music, that they are unmusical robots, and practicing too much with a parent leads to a damaged relationship between the parent and the student. Despite these claims, the Suzuki Method should be considered an acceptable and accessible form of music education because Suzuki students can read music. They are just as, if not more, musical than traditional students, and the learning process brings families together. Suzuki students can read music just as well as traditional students. World-renowned music educator Ron Nicole states in a 2013 interview that Suzuki students are trying now, more than ever, to teach their students to read music at an earlier age in order to combat the stereotype that they cannot read music and are therefore lesser assets to the group. The nature of the Suzuki Method makes it easy for a student to rely only on their ear. However, most teachers introduce basic sight reading very early on in the learning process, sometimes before the student even holds an instrument. Caroline Shaw, the Pulitzer Prize winner for her Partita and 8 voices, was originally a Suzuki violinist. It is impossible to write a decent piece of music without being able to read notes. In addition to being able to read notes, Suzuki students have as much, if not more, musicality than traditional students. Musicality is creativity, passion, and everything that changes music from merely math and numbers into something beautiful and human. A good music student will play all the right notes. A great musician is able to express emotion and passion with their playing. Suzuki students are often tagged as unmusical robots because of the amount of work they do playing in a group. Skeptics claim that students only repeat what they hear their teachers play and they do not think for themselves. This could not be further from the truth. Suzuki students are forced to memorize the music they learn inside and out. They will play the music with other people of their own skill level in order to better develop the skills taught in the pieces. Suzuki students are able to be more musical because they know the music well. Once a student knows the music, they begin to own it. They begin to project a little bit of themselves into it, and it is then when music becomes great. Finally, in spite of the claims of parents and teachers that practicing with a parent on a daily basis can be a child's living nightmare, practicing with a parent can strengthen the bond between the parent and the student. It is difficult to practice with a parent every single day. The key to dealing with possibly such a turbulent pattern of affairs is teaching the parent to teach the student. The book, Teaching from the Balance Point by Edward Kriegman, outlines exactly what a parent should do in order to practice successfully with their child. The most important section addresses the concept of vision versus expectation. The most common problem with the Suzuki Method is that some parents think it is magic and will turn their 3-year-olds into child prodigies overnight. Dr. Shinichi Suzuki, the founder of the Suzuki Method, was quoted in the aforementioned book saying, "Patience is merely an absence of expectations." These words in themselves seem counterintuitive and insensitive. However, Kriegman interpreted it differently. On the one hand, it seems so obvious. Of course, if one has no expectations, then there is no need to feel frustrated if the desired result is not reached. On the other hand, how can one teach if nothing is expected? There's a fine line between expecting too much and expecting too little. Although it would be beneficial to expect nothing of the youngest students, it is nearly impossible. A balance between expecting too much and expecting nothing would be for a parent to have their expectations, but when they are not met, the parent should not be angry or disappointed. Instead, they should accept that their child is just that, a child, and that they will make mistakes. It is up to the parent to make sure the student learns from their missteps. Music is universal. It is ever-changing, yet it is always the same 8 notes arranged into different patterns. No matter where someone goes, there is always music. Music can express another's culture and help strangers understand their struggles. Music helps people understand math, English, and any array of other subjects. Music forgives and music heals. The Suzuki Method has been proven time and time again to be one of the best ways to teach young children music because it teaches them to successfully read notes, it gives students a solid base for them to build their own musicality, and it gives students, and it brings families together. Children deserve to be allowed to choose their own fate. Teaching a young child music is one of the best ways to prepare him or her for life after they leave their families, because they will learn how to think and act in an intelligent and creative way in which others will benefit. Thank you.